Greetings, gaming historians, and welcome to Lord of Lore, where we break down the lore and history of our favorite video games and fantasies. Today, we're returning to the world of Amalur to discuss something a little different. It's been over a year since they announced Re-Reckoning and the all-new expansion, Fatesworn. But as we're reaching the final months of the year, many of us have been expecting a trailer or a release date. And honestly, while I'm still super excited for the expansion, it's been kind of difficult staying hyped about this, especially considering I was expecting it early 2021. Now, that being said, such talk has made me take a look back at THQ's release and the handling of the remaster, Re-Reckoning. How has it held up? Could it have been done differently? Today, we'll be discussing 3 things it did right and 3 things I felt it could have done better at. Now remember, these are all my opinion. Let's discuss. Now before I begin, I do want to clarify that this is not a rant or a harsh critique. I, for one, love the remaster. Even as someone who's played the game before, I thoroughly enjoyed returning to Amalur, exploring the world, and kicking butt. And the remaster finally allowed me to experience the epic DLCs. Now that being said, there are some who are not as impressed with the remaster. While their opinions are valid and worth considering, I think there are some unfair arguments made against Re-Reckoning, and I would like to address them before giving my critiques. Good number 1, keeping the game mostly untouched. I knew from the beginning that they weren't going to add anything as far as models or new gameplay elements, and I think that was perfect. It is a remaster after all, and they gave us and new players the full Reckoning experience by leaving it untouched. Now, some have expressed disappointment in the game's graphics, having only improved the textures without touching the polygons or models. Well, I for one wholeheartedly disagree. Yes, they're not exactly AAA by modern standards, but I feel the original graphics did wonders for the game's art and tone, and I was very impressed with the new textures. By adding the DLCs and making quality of life improvements, I was very satisfied with the gameplay and what it offered. However, I do wish a little more attention was put to the game between gameplay. Critique number 1, better UI. Now, I know this may seem like a minor and somewhat odd choice, but I think it would have been an amazing addition to the remaster to give it its own unique menu in the starting screen and the pause menu. I'm glad that we got the game in all its original glory, but I was hoping it would be presented in a newer, more unique way. I remember playing the original Reckoning on PS3, and one of my biggest problems was with its menus. Switching between options felt sticky, and it had an obnoxiously loud click sound. Well, let's just say I was a tad bit disappointed when I saw that they kept the original menu. Thankfully, the option switching felt a little smoother, and I even felt the sound was a little bit less shrill. But I felt they missed a real opportunity to add their own flavor to the world of Amalur by making their own revamped menu. I mean, they didn't even change the main menu. That being said, I was recently playing Reckoning on the PS3, when I noticed something strange on the manual. As you can see here, the original image for the menu was not the art of the troll, but rather a game model view of the Well of Souls, and it looked like it would even be moving and pulsing as the players navigated the menu. The game already showed us they could tweak things like this by implementing the new company logos. So why not change the menu UI to give us a unique experience while navigating the original gameplay? Positive number 2. 60 frames per second. Can I just say that the animations in Re-Reckoning are freaking amazing. The original game had awesome, fast-paced combat, but I feel it was a bit let down by its lower frame rate, something that would get even slower in massive battles that became frequent towards the endgame. Then came Re-Reckoning. Every fight was as fast as lightning and as smooth as butter, and I would end nearly every battle smiling at its incredible animation and speed. But speaking of speed, there was one aspect of Re-Reckoning that wasn't fast. Critique number 2, loading screens. Yeah, enough said. Seriously, they're longer than the original game. In addition, they could have helped us out by adding more map markers. Take the Archmage Quarters, for example. It's one of the best player homes in the game, but to get to it, you have to load Rathir, then load Upper Rathir, then load the Scalia Arcana Courtyard, then the Scalia Arcana Halls, and then you can load the Archmage Headquarters. Yeah, even on my Mage playthroughs, I never use the Headquarters. Maybe they'll help some of the loading problems with the expansions. Only the future will tell. Positive number 3, quality of life improvements. While these improvements may all seem minor, in the grand scheme of the game, Re-Reckoning really improved the experience with a few coding tweaks. Not only did they make unique weapons and armor easier to find, but they also added an additional ability wheel to improve your character's arsenal and prevent unnecessary menu surfing. My favorite will still have to be the unique equipment improvement though, as I was unable to find a quarter of these items in all my PS3 playthroughs, and these unique items really help us feel the awesome art and powers of Amalur's secrets. Critique number 3, better public relations. Now, you may think I'm talking about 38 Studios' scandal, but no, I'm talking about Re-Reckoning. When compared to other gaming communities, I feel THQ has done a poor job keeping us updated and excited about the world of Amalur. Firstly, there was a very long hiatus between the announcement of Re-Reckoning and the release of the actual gameplay trailer, which may have harmed many fans' hype. Secondly, we've been waiting a lot longer for the Fatesworn expansion than many of us expected, or at least longer than I expected. And finally, compared to many other video game Twitters, even ones concerning offline games, Amalur has had very little presence on Twitter or other social medias, sometimes going several months without any form of update. This critique here is probably what concerns me most. Now honestly, I'm not really afraid THQ won't put effort into the Amalur series, as no matter how well the remaster sells, the Amalur license was just too expensive to justify only one game. In fact, because Project Copernicus was almost 90% done, including models and animations, I believe THQ wishes to reuse these assets to create their own game in the future. However, I am worried that by having so little fan interaction in the present, THQ may hurt their outreach when trying to promote games in the future. Even something as small as frequent screenshots with an interactive caption would let fans know that THQ says, hey, we're still here, we care about this game, and we care about our fans. And that about does it for my critiques. Honestly guys, I love the remaster and have poured almost 200 hours into this gem of a game. I only hope that THQ will continue to improve and add to Re-Reckoning and the Amalur series as a whole. What do you think? Were you unsatisfied with the remaster? What things did you like or dislike about it? Leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and remember to drop a like and subscribe so my channel can grow. Feel free to comment what you would like to see next, new videos every week. God bless.